Hey guys, this is Nihon Reboot. Today I wanted to discuss some difficulties of living in Japan. Now, while there actually are few, these could be make or break situations for people who are interested in living in Japan. Now, I would easily say the pros outweigh the cons. Here, for example, medical is astronomically cheaper here. You can get so much help here. For not to pay very much at all. Rent also is significantly cheaper. It's completely possible and so easy to live by yourself. I'm comparing all this with my experiences in America, paying for hospital checkups and living in apartments and whatnot. Apartments in America, I needed people to live there with me in order to afford it. And I was picking some of the cheapest areas I could find. But here, it's perfectly possible and doable. And I can actually afford medical here, which I didn't have medical insurance in America just because it was too expensive. Also, it's significantly more convenient here. You don't need a car. You can get anywhere you want on a train or with a bus. You can get literally anywhere you want. And you don't have to worry about any kind of... They're extremely punctual, so you don't have to worry about being late. If you catch the correct trains and you don't mess up the routes. Now, with all those put aside, like I said, this video is primarily about the difficulties living here. Now, the first and most obvious one is going to be the language barrier. Now, with me, it's not as big of a problem in modern times. Recently, just because I've improved since I've been here, which I'm going to make a video on that in a little bit. But anyways, the language barrier is still a problem even for me. Now, that's something that I'm working at, but until a point comes where I reach a near native level of fluency, it's going to be an issue. Now, the main area where it comes into play is if you ever get medical checkups. A lot of the doctors, oh man, I literally just went to one about a week ago, because my girlfriend said, I asked my girlfriend to, come with me, because prior to that, I would always go by myself. And I had a specific doctor that I went to, and she's like, oh, let's go to this doctor instead. The website says that the doctor there speaks English. So I go there, and he doesn't speak English at all. He speaks the most broken stuff that I've heard in a while. And so, like I said, my girlfriend doesn't speak English either. So I was telling her my symptoms prior to going in there, hoping that she can explain it to the doctor better. And so we get there, and they call us in, and she's like, I'm gonna wait here in the waiting room. And I'm like, I kind of brought you here to explain my symptoms. That's what I was thinking. And she's like, I'm like, oh, well, you don't want to come? And she's like, no, I'm okay here. Good luck. So she tells me. And I'm like, okay, freaking useless. Anyways, so I go in there. I'm like, all right, well, he speaks English, so I could probably try to communicate with him in English. So then he sits down and he starts speaking in Japanese. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll start speaking in Japanese. But then he's using all this complex medical terminology relating to organs, any kind of possible symptoms, things that you don't really learn in most textbooks. Even though there was a specific section on medical in one of the textbooks I took back in America. It just wasn't enough. There were so many different things, so many different words, vocab, I've never even heard of, and I just kind of fumbled along. Then he tried using English. It was terrible. So it became extremely difficult to communicate these things. But I eventually got through, and I got medicine, and the medicine suppressed the vertigo, so I'm good. Now that's one of the big difficulties, is the language barrier. That's just an example. Now, another bad thing about living here is going to be, this is a personal one for me, pizza. Oh my god. Pizza is hard. It's hard to get good pizza here. Now, I'm a very simple guy, so I'll eat cheese pizza, I'll eat pepperoni pizza, I'll eat pizza with sausage on it, maybe a little mixture in there. I'll even try one with mushrooms on it. I'm willing to. But that's about the extent of the pizza that I like. Now, the pizza in Japan, they put all these crazy, ridiculous toppings on it. And two of the most common ones that you almost always see is corn, which I'm not a big fan of corn at all. And then a semi-raw egg in the center of the pizza. Not only that, the pizzas are usually, they're more expensive than in America. Now, the only place where I found where I can get affordable pizza that tastes like American pizza is they luckily have Domino's here. And there's only 2 items on the menu that resemble American pizzas. One of them is called the All-American Special, which is just a pepperoni pizza. And then they have a plain cheese as well. And those things, it's ridiculous. Like a medium is about, for a pepperoni, it's about $17 US for this pepperoni pizza. And the pizza is like this big. It's extremely small. Like, if you ever went to a Pizza Hut and got one of those like personal pan sized pizzas, it's kind of like that, with $17. Now, the only time I go and get those pizzas is whenever they have a buy one get one, because then it makes it somewhat affordable, and I usually just get 2 of those pizzas and I eat them. But yeah, that's another problem, finding good pizza. Problem number 3, secondhand smoke. It's oh my goodness, it is rampant here. Like, I've heard that it's gone down exponentially over the years, and I'm glad for that, but literally on my daily commute to school, like, I've already mapped out, there's certain spots where you're always going to run into smokers, and during these areas, as soon as I get near them, I hold my breath and walk through them. But literally as you're walking down sidewalks, there's always those wild cards. They'll just randomly open up, you know, a cigarette and just start smoking like right in front of you. Or, you know, there's often times where like you're minding your business, and a lot of people ride bikes here, so a guy would just pass you on their bike, and as they're passing you, they'll blow out smoke, and you don't really realize, and you smell it. It just freaking stinks. So secondhand smoke is a big problem here. I usually avoid like a majority of it. Like I said, just by, you know, holding my breath and whatnot. The second I smell it, it's disgusting, I think, smoking. But, you know, Japan just doesn't seem to recognize like how bad smoking really is. Which I actually talked to one of my friends who smokes, and he says he does it because it's cheap. And I asked another one, and they responded saying the same thing. Like, oh, we smoke because it's cheap and affordable. And it really is compared to America. And I'm sitting there going, well, you know, I can punch you in the face as hard as I can. It'll hurt you just as, actually less bad than that cigarette would, probably. And it's cheaper. Like, I would charge you less. Like, you should take on this deal instead of smoking. Like, you're benefiting me because I'm getting money. You're doing less damage to your body, but you're still hurting yourself. Everybody wins, kind of. That's how I think about it. And I've actually talked to another friend who used to kind of have this thing with this girl, and everyone in her family smoked. And he came up to me and he asked her if she smoked, and she said no, but I'm probably going to someday, was her response. And when I heard him tell me that, I was like, what? What? And by the way, like, he has kept up with her, like, they went out of touch, but he looked on her Instagram, she's smoking now. So, you know, they usually make the decision to smoke, like, oh, no. I don't know if they're all like that, but I thought that was really weird that, you know, because your family smokes, you might as well smoke as well. That was the logic behind it. Yeah. Anyways, next point, which is actually a short one, because finding American food, foreign food, which is kind of expected, is hard, and when you find it, it's more expensive. There's not really much to explain about that. It's just like when you go to like a foreign store, like an Asian mart or something in America, you find your items, but they're at a higher price. You get them. Yeah. You know, like I said, these things are potential make or break scenarios for people. For example, one of my friends wants to live in Japan, but she says she only eats things like macaroni, which you don't really find here. It's hard to find. You can find those little craft macaroni boxes in input stores, but they're like 400 yen or like $3.50. So, yeah, that's about it. I can't think of anything else. If I think of anything else, I'll make another video. Alright? So, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll do my best to reply. And if you like the video, feel free to subscribe. Alright? Have a nice day.